that was a really weird, gross scene, I thought, but they agreed they were going to both let the past go and move forward.
Yeah.
So fucking move forward, Lily.
Yeah, Lily, what the fuck are you doing? And Rufus, why are you even entertaining this at this point?
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there, you just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, what do you call the new kid on the block in second season terms in Gossip Girl?
I don't know, but if you keep sneaking up on me, I think we got to put a bell on you.
Kinky. Think about it.
Oh, yo.
So here's the deal, folks. Leif is a fan of Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm watching for the very first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
That's right. Each week, we're going to be taking a deep dive, analyzing the show one episode at a time. We're going to look at all the obscure references, parallels, and of course the Couture catastrophes. And along the way, we're also going to be looking at some fandom stories and some behind-the-scenes gossip.
And since we are all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is room for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab your mimosa or a cup of coffee or some of Chuck's special medicine if it's that kind of morning, and let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, so this episode will be coming out on September 9th, which means we're 3 days out from the Eagles' first game of the season.
Yes. We are all
Brazil.
Yeah. Who are we playing?
Packers.
The Packers starting off against, is that the Mexico game?
Brazil.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
They actually.
Where you're not allowed to wear green.
Not allowed to wear green. I was just about to say that. That is like. That they're worried about the gang colors, and so I'm guessing it'll be a black and white
Thank
game.
God for football season, because I know you like baseball, and I do root for the Phillies, but this is the worst time of the year for me sports-wise.
And right now, when this airs, I cannot imagine how fucking stoked I'm going to be if they keep going the way the Phillies are going.
The Phillies are really
right
great,
now.
so that's awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just can't take the grind of the baseball season.
I love it. I watch almost every single game. I watch every game I can, or I listen on the radio. I'm just an absolute nut. And I love going to minor league games. I'm going to the Trenton Thunder on Sunday, and then I'm going to the Phillies on Monday. So, also, I want to say happy birthday to the wife of the pod, Robin. It was her birthday yesterday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, Robin. And even though we don't know whether or not you're ever going to see this should be the only place I wish her a happy birthday. And be like, oh, I did wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah. I'll vouch for you. Back to June when we're recording this, I heard you murdered someone this week.
Oh, so I did. Once again, this is the third time I've killed Dan. I run a Pathfinder game on Wednesdays, and it is the third time that I have killed the Magus. We play with a gentleman named Adam Frary, and we have developed the Adam Frary Guide to Frontline Fighters. And the number one rule is a minimum of 10 hit points per level. So these guys are a 10th level party. So to be a frontline character in the way that we play, your best bet is to have 100 hit points at this level. At least. If you're going to be up front, visible, and sometimes the only target available, which is all of the boxes that were checked last night, you need at least 100. Give me a guess on the hit points.
90?
Lower.
Ooh. Ouch. 85?
Lower.
Wow. Is he not leveling?
You're going to be shocked.
70?
Lower.
Okay, just
He was at,
what's the point?
he had 60 hit points. And
how?
I don't know. But when I killed him, I remember like I had a quick and scorching ray and an attack. I hit him with a quick and scorching ray and an attack, and then the other guy went and hit him with a quick and scorching ray. I wasn't even rolling enough dice. I was rolling 5e dice in a Pathfinder game. I was rolling 3d6 per ray instead of 4. When he said, "Well, that's it, I'm dead," I was like, I barely hit you. Like, I barely hit you. How are you dead?
Oh my.
And I kind of felt bad because it was the third time I killed him. But then when he said he had 60 hit points, and everyone at the table gasped. Isaiah was like, minimum 10 per level, bro. Minimum 10 per level. What are you thinking? He's like, we're in a world where we just fought lamias and there are magical beasts just walking around. How are you at 6? He's like, I'm a wizard at 85.
Yeah, something's got to be wrong there. That's impossible.
He had a 0 con. He had a +0 con. He had a decent AC, but he was also the most hittable in the party. Like, he had the lowest AC and the lowest HP. And in that particular combat, they were fighting genies. They put up a wall of fire in a ring around him.
Too much playing 5e.
Yeah.
So today we are here to talk about Gossip Girl Season 2, Episode 4, The X-Files.
Yes.
This is, of course, a take on The X-Files.
The X-Files. Yeah,
Not the...
Yeah. I definitely... I mean, I was a huge X-Files fan. And
it's fun for a while.
Yeah. I was a huge fan. I got into it. I feel like the movie was like announced, and my roommate was like super into it, and then got me into it, and we went, and it was playing enough that we were able to watch from the beginning. And
by the time the movie came out, I was already kind of bored with it.
But being that that's when I got into it,
yeah,
it made it more. You know, it was more interesting to me because that's when I got into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it went on too long with no real conclusion to it, no real answers. But I loved it for a while.
Mm-hmm. This episode originally aired on September 22nd, 2008. The Gossip Girl Wiki episode description reads, Vanessa discovers a scandalous secret about Katherine and enlists Blair's scheming expertise to use the information to help Nate. Meanwhile, Lily finds herself drawn back to her ex, Rufus, once again, and Dan and Serena face off in light of their breakup.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah. Written by Robert Hull. This is his first of 10 episodes writing Gossip Girl. Also had credits for Veronica Mars, Once Upon a Time, and Gotham.
Okay. That's the second Gotham writer that we've had. Gotham was well after this, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that CW?
Fox, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're right. And that was also the dude from the OC.
Yes, Ben McKenzie.
Ben McKenzie played Commissioner Gordon. Really liked the first season of that show, too. I felt like it kind of didn't know what to do. I feel like they were like, oh, this will never get through this will never go anywhere. And then they made this great first season, and they're like, oh, it is going somewhere.
Mm-hmm. This episode was directed by Jim McKay, only episode of Gossip Girl. This guy's got a kind of unusual career. Like, he does like 1 or 2 episodes of like a bunch of shows, including stuff like The Wire, Breaking Bad,
interesting,
Big Love, Blue Bloods, Treme, and then I've never seen any of his movies. Our Song, Girls Town, and Everyday People.
Huh. That is an interesting resume.
Yeah,
because
he doesn't stick around. Like, I guess maybe he's just trying to learn. Or I
was gonna say either he's really difficult to work with and people don't want him around long, or he's just one of those, I want to pop in and try this out.
Yeah,
you know.
We get into the episode. Wakey, wakey, Upper East Siders. Welcome to the first day of senior year and the onset of a new social dynasty. The big question is, with Serena single and on top of the world, will Constance become the House of Woodsen?
So they have the foreshadowing here, and there's a bit in this scene. There's quite a bit in this scene of foreshadowing the end of this.
Yeah.
And Queen and the crowning of Queen S, which I thought that was really interesting to see in the Gossip Girl monologue.
And then we open with Serena, Eric, and Lily eating a very delicious-looking breakfast. Lily and Serena are being cute mother and daughter for once. It's ruined by Chuck walking in and making a gross quip. He also reveals that Dan and Serena broke up and that the throne is hers for the taking.
Yes. Again, that foreshadowing, and Chuck, it's basically saying the throne is there for the taking, and Serena being like, that's not my thing. Like, that's Blair's thing. Like, leave me out of that. I also really loved Eric's reaction to the food.
Yeah.
Like, are we expecting more people here? And Lily's like, I'm trying to be a mom. And it is funny because Lily does struggle to mother her own kids.
Yes.
And she's so good at mothering other people that it makes sense that she'd have a breakfast for 10 people to mother her kids.
It was just throw money at it.
It was so good to see Lily again, though. And like, she has a tough episode, but man, it was so good to have her back.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize how much I missed her. I knew I missed her from episode 1 of the season.
We talked about the storylines that probably were supposed to be hers.
Yeah. But when she actually was there, it was like, it just was so good to have her back.
Eric and Chuck leave for school, and then Lily and Serena discuss the breakup.
Again, some cute mother-daughter stuff here, and they have that cute relationship. And trying to understand each other, and like, I'll be okay, or at least I hope so.
Yeah, I like that Lily and Serena seem to be in a good place right now.
Yeah,
let's see how long it lasts.
Yeah, and it was also nice that she was, asking about the romantic getaway and asking about her relationship with Bart, and it really was, in the previous episode, she wanted that two-way conversation with Blair. She gets that with Lily here.
Yeah. In Brooklyn, Dan and Rufus are discussing the same breakup. Rufus advises Dan to lay off the sarcastic deflection when he sees Serena. Dan immediately uses sarcasm to deflect. Jenny is also worried about confronting Blair again.
Yeah, I liked Rufus here. Rufus trying to give some good dad advice again. He was trying to be
very good advice.
Yeah, really.
Don't be a dick, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. It's not too difficult to follow.
Apparently it is.
Apparently it is. And I also, this scene was the first time that we really get the breakdown of the victims and projects.
Yes.
And we really see, and when Jenny breaks that down and like her fear of going back.
She's worried about being a victim this year.
Yeah.
Good Day plays over a montage of Blair interviewing applicants looking to join the clique. Hey, look, another person of color. I'm sure we'll see her right all the time again.
No, they picked the white girl.
No, we're gonna see her again, right?
They picked the white. They picked the white girl.
Oh, I did see Iz kind of look like disappointed that she got shut down. A little smidge there.
Well, I mean, she vacations in the Adirondacks. What are you thinking?
But she's got 4 things to the Knicks.
Her dad's the doctor for the Knicks. And they turn her down.
Serena is walking into school and sees Dan writing in the courtyard and immediately freezes up. Yeah, you feel bad for Serena here.
Yeah.
Because she said that in the last episode, she still loves Dan.
Yeah. And Dan was saying it too. Like, Dan did say, I still, and she said, I know, me too. And so it was a two-way thing. But yeah, it's awkward to see each other,
Yeah. Blair and the minions are bemoaning the lack of quality candidates when Chuck shows up with another folder to add to the pile. Why did they suspect something here? It seems weird.
Yeah. And when Chuck was like, oh, here's another candidate to the fold. When Chuck...
A transfer student.
A transfer student. I mean, I figured he was up to something to get Blair back, which I'm still do.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't see the scheme laid out. I'll be honest right now. They got me on the red herring here. Like they did. Like I fell for it on the first watch.
What Reddit? Which one?
Amanda, not one. I shouldn't say red herring, but like I did not see them working together.
Oh, okay.
That caught me. That surprised me.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. Chuck having her resume and whatnot also didn't really, on the first watch, that didn't register on my radar. Mm-hmm. Like it kind of did, like, oh, that must be the girl Chuck was talking about, but like it didn't really register. It's like, of course, Chuck's stalking the new girl. Like,
well, he does have that little conversation with Eric about how he's using Blair's system to scout potential dates.
Yes. Yeah. Again, I wish I would have remembered to bring up Eric more in that first scene, because the Chuck Eric relationship, when he's like, bring the orange juice, I have champagne chilling in the limo, and he's like, he's kidding, I think. But back to this scene, it didn't register. It registered to me that it was a matter of, what I really saw was, here's another girl I'm going to give to Blair to make her jealous, so that I'm going to be flirting with. So I'm going to show Blair I'm interested in this girl. That's what I saw. And I did not see what it was coming.
In Brooklyn, Nate ambushes Vanessa. I don't know a lot, but if a woman isn't returning your phone calls, just showing up, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, Vanessa, you could have told him. You could have said, hey, yeah, she blackmailed me and said that she would tell where the captain was.
I guess, yeah. Maybe Katherine, part of the blackmail is he can't say anything. Well, I'll just assume that.
Yeah, but even if that was, what would she do at that point? Like,
she would reveal where the captain is.
Yeah, maybe. But
I mean, that's the whole blackmail.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think Captain should be revealed, but
yeah, well, the captain should be revealed, and also, I'm going to reveal that where your dad is. Okay, I'm going to reveal that you're blackmailing a 17-year-old that you're having sex with. Although they could skip the country before.
Yeah, diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
Dan and Jenny are at school discussing breakup etiquette. The mean girls completely ignore Jenny as they walk down the hall.
I love the foreshadowing here when Dan says it's better to be ignored, because he thinks he's been ignored, but he just hasn't been noticed. He's never been
shunned.
Ignored. Yeah. He's never been shunned.
Let the shunning begin.
So I really liked the second watch through when he said that line, better to be ignored, until the birds start flying into you and the automatic doors don't open.
Yeah. Out in the courtyard, Dan bumps into new girl Amanda.
Those bangs, though.
She just seems weird.
Yeah, like instantly is like,
yeah.
Yeah. And that was my first comment. I go, those bangs, though. And Robin gave me the worst look. She's like, what's even worse is that you're right. But yeah,
but her voice is like,
something
was just off about it.
Well, yeah, every angle, I was just like, although I just thought it was bad acting, I still didn't see.
I mean, it was bad acting.
It was. I didn't see the setup coming. Still,
Blair and Serena are discussing how it hurts to see your ex dating someone else. Oh, how convenient! They walk out into the courtyard just in time to see Dan and Amanda flirting. Of course.
Yeah. Even more, like, he's talking to a new student. Like, he wasn't, like, doing anything overtly flirty, right? He was talking to her. And Blair just instantly is like, well, that's good. That's a thing. And it's like...
I mean, he definitely was flirting and then asked her out.
But can you see that from across a courtyard, right?
I think you can.
Yeah. I just thought it was... I think Blair jumps to conclusions sometimes, but I get it.
Looks like Humphrey defied our great expectations in Waldorf's Rule of Order, daring to date before Serena. It's only a matter of time before it's off with his head, or hers. Gossip Girl quips as we move into Act 2. Blair and Serena are reading the scouting report on Amanda that Chuck conveniently provided. Amanda is Dan with boobs.
Yeah. Serena, this is Dan with boobs. So when Serena at the end, she's like, I'm fine. She gets up and you hear one of the other girls, I think it's Iz, go, she's not fine. It was just one of those little throwaway lines that I loved it.
Yeah. Katherine stages a run-in with Vanessa at the gallery. Katherine hands Vanessa a check made out to cash and is gone before Vanessa can look up and judge her.
So stealthy. Like, she was clicking around in those high heels. Like Dan said earlier about the loft. She was wearing pumps on a concrete floor. And then she just...
Yeah, I mean, I know we hate Katherine, but I love that dress. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that she has good style. She always had.
Well, I mean, that dress hugged her form.
Yeah.
And then Dan and Serena finally see each other at school, and it is, of course, awkward as fuck. Things are seeming to smooth over when Amanda shows up, and Dan tells Serena that he and Amanda are eating lunch together. Chuck is in the background paying very close attention to everything that is going on here.
I was again distracted by the bangs. Like, I thought that they looked like she cut them herself. And it was like distracting to me. Like, and I don't get distracted by that kind of shit. But like,
also in season 1, Chuck was always just sitting in the background watching people.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely was. I mean, Ed was trying to show that he was scheming, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
That was his scheming look. I because I do remember like leaving that scene thinking, what is he up to? And like, why is he so vested in Dan and this girl? Like it still wasn't dawning on me. Like, they really got me on this.
But it was, I thought the writing was good because they clearly set it up from the very first scene where he talks about Serena should be queen.
Yeah.
It's there for your take. It's there for the taking.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so it was. I think this is Chuck's best scheme so far because you really don't see it coming and you don't see him doing it. Like you see little strings being pulled, but like it doesn't seem like it's going the way he's describing it.
And I feel like the writing room post-strike is now starting to settle down. The show isn't the same thing it was for those first 13 episodes, but I think it's found its new rhythm. It's new. This is what the show is now. And I think they found their groove a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that is all very accurate.
Mm-hmm. Chuck rubs the situation in Serena's face and then snaps a pic of Dan and Amanda for Gossip Girl.
And this is where I was like, what is he up to? Like, careful, B, because he's up to something. But what? Like, why does that relationship mean anything to Chuck? It was... Other than is Chuck trying to get that girl because she's the new girl, but that just seemed a little too easy. I don't know.
Lily shows up at the gallery to see Rufus because she clearly is lonely with Bart still out of town. Looks like they are going to see Repo Man together. It's better than Rufus and Vanessa, but I don't really want to see these two have an affair. It's easy to see why Lily has been married 5 times.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, Lily? Like... What the fuck? And Rufus, what the fuck are you doing by inviting her to go to the movie with you? Like, what the fuck? You're seeing Claire now.
And so when I was writing that line, I was kind of worried it was going to be taken as slut shaming, which is definitely not. I'm shaming Lily for being a shitty partner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. She's just got back from her honeymoon, and now she's going to Rufus' door.
Yeah, her and Bart had that conversation. Let the past go. That was a really weird, gross scene, I thought, but they agreed they were gonna both let the past go and move forward.
Yeah.
So fucking move forward, Lily.
Yeah, Lily, what the fuck are you doing? And Rufus, why are you even entertaining this at this point?
Well, I think the first time he got caught off guard.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I love how this resolves itself. Mm-hmm. I think it was perfect. But at this moment, I'm like, why are you going to the movies with Lily?
Yeah.
That's
I mean, she just like kind of invited herself. Was he like can't really stop her from coming? I mean,
but you
that'd
could
be
say
super awkward.
that's not a good idea. Like you could be like, hey, I'm not ready for that. I'm not there. He could say what he says in the end.
Yeah.
You know?
Back at Constance, Blair and the Mean Girls are threatening Amanda to stay away from Dan, and Serena sees and does nothing.
Threatening with like violence. She drops the field hockey stick on her foot.
Yeah.
She like threatens her with violence to not go to lunch with her.
Yeah.
And Serena, like, oh, really? Lunch, Serena? The meal before dating?
Yeah, that was good. Elsewhere in Manhattan, Vanessa is trying to return Katherine's check and is about to leave when she hears Katherine behind the door. Vanessa, wanting to give the Duchess a piece of her mind, grabs the check off the table, opens the door, and only to see Katherine and Marcus getting down Game of Thrones style. Vanessa snaps a pic and pieces out.
That was so fucking gross.
Well, to be fair, at least it's an age-appropriate relationship.
Yeah. At least they're both probably about the same age.
Oh, yeah.
That was so fucking gross. And like the whole like, you know, when he spins her around to like, and it was like, you're into this, dude. Like you are so fucking into this. That's gross, dude.
Yeah, weird.
Your dad's been, you're like,
well, maybe not, because that's why Catherine. Apparently those guys just don't fuck their wives.
Maybe they only fuck their kids.
Anyone else?
Anyone else? I don't. That's so fucking gross.
Yeah. Dan has been stood up by Amanda, and Chuck is only too happy to tell him why. Dan defends Serena at first, but it's clear that Chuck got under his skin.
Yeah, and Chuck likes to think that he knows Serena better than Dan. And Chuck knows who Serena was before she went away, and knows the old Serena. And
well, yeah, Chuck definitely knows Serena better.
Yeah.
Well, they've known each other since they were little kids.
Right, yeah. Chuck also really liked the old Serena more, which that at this point was like, okay, he always has wanted Serena to be the old Serena again. So is that where he's heading with this?
On the Met steps, Blair and her minions continue to bully Amanda. Serena is clearly uncomfortable with what's happening, but at the same time doing nothing to stop it.
Amanda is terrible. Like, I feel like every time there's a new character on here, I have something to say about their shitty acting. But man, she's terrible. And Serena tries to resist, but like, not very hard. But like, God, she's difficult to watch.
Wait till you meet some of Serena's guest star boyfriends.
Oh boy. Oh my God. All the men that they've had, all the grown ass men that they have had as like one-offs.
Yeah. At the cafe, Vanessa shows Dan the picture of Marcus and Katherine. One of the bright spots about later seasons is we start to get actual smartphones, which means we don't have to look at those shitty flip phone pictures anymore. Dan suggests Vanessa take the picture to Blair.
I really loved Dan in this scene. I thought he was really well written. I thought he was really well acted.
Look up Revenge and you'll see BlairWaldorf.com.
Yeah, Google Revenge and you'll get BlairWaldorf.com. And yeah, just like the suggestion of going to Blair was brilliant. Mm-hmm. He was right.
Yeah.
And just in general, I feel like Penn Badgley had a great episode acting wise. Yeah. I felt like he was really good.
I think he likes playing the asshole.
Yeah, I can see that. And he just is so good with the wit, with playing off the wit and the sarcasm. I really liked him in this scene.
At school, Dan immediately gives up any moral high ground and takes a ride to Douchetown when confronting Serena.
Yeah. It didn't look good for Serena either. because she did go to the lunch and do that,
Yeah.
he's putting way more on
But
her.
so he's being offensive and she's being defensive.
Yeah.
Even though she's trying to deny she's doing it, she is actively participating.
Yeah.
But she's doing it defensively, though.
She gave the nod.
So I'm definitely Team Serena here.
Yeah, I'm a little more Team Dan here, to be honest. And it's because and honestly,
like I said, like he gives up the moral. He had the moral high ground.
Yeah, he did.
But he gives it up.
But he does, and he comes in judgy and douchey.
Yeah.
Which is classic Dan.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole thing, if Dan at any point would just accept the fact that Serena was born into more money than Dan could dream of, that's all he has to accept.
Yeah.
That being born into that, she has a certain amount of attention on her. And that's all he ever had to accept. My only reason that I was more Team Serena here is because she gave Blair the nod. Because she didn't tell Blair, no, absolutely not. We're letting this go. She let Blair, and she let Serena for coming up to this point. Her status as being Serena, as being the old Serena, as having all of that status didn't mean anything to her anymore. And now it kind of does because she doesn't have Dan anymore.
Yeah.
Like she had something else that meant more to her, but now that that's gone,
I think for Serena, it's like almost like a natural. It's like almost like a chameleon. Like she just puts up those you see it when we'll talk like when the girls bring up the guys for her to date. Like immediately she's like biting her lip.
Yeah. And doing something
immediately into
a glass
mode.
Yeah.
But so we got, after Serena leaves, Amanda shows up and basically asks Dan out on a date tonight. This is where Dan should have started to suspect something was up.
Yeah, and I guess the second one, for me, it was a little later that I thought that something was suspicious, because at this point it was still, we didn't get our lunch date, so let's have a date tonight. The choice of venue was questionable for a first date. Why would you go?
I believe the words "send the message" were used.
Well, but that was after they showed up.
Yeah.
Like why would you go there in the first place?
Yeah. At Blair's penthouse, Vanessa is showing Blair the picture. Blair is fighting back tears as she sends the photo to herself and then threatens for Vanessa to keep quiet and let Blair handle it.
And Leighton Meester just doing fucking Leighton Meester shit.
Like,
just fucking great acting, great emotion, great, command of the whole thing. The way that Blair is able to shut shit down when she needs to. She gets emotional. She's crying. She's upset. But the second she realizes it's on and how she just gets it together and goes right at Vanessa, like, I loved every, I mean, I love every Blair scene pretty much.
Yeah.
But she was fucking great here.
The sun sets on NYC as Dan and Amanda arrive at the club. Dan doesn't think it's a good idea, but Amanda is determined to send a message.
Yeah, that's where I should have been suspicious. When she said that, my first watch through, I was like, what are you sending a message for? Like, what are you trying?
I hate bullies.
Yeah, like the I hate bullies from earlier. But like, let's send a message that they're like, what message are you trying to send? Like, that was so dumb. What I did love in that scene was when Penelope bumps Iz, and Iz is like, I'm not sharing my lump crab meat.
What Dan Humphrey does with the other serfs in the village is his business, but when he brings his new mate into court, it's a declaration of war. Sound the trumpets, trumpets. We move into Act 3. The next day, Dan is woken up by Jenny, who is extremely disappointed in Big Brother.
Jenny is adorable here. I loved this scene. I loved how outraged she was. Because as much as she is, like, in the
Jenny's
Gossip
a girl's girl.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's in the Gossip Girl universe, but she's still one of those little girls reading Gossip Girl. So I really loved that came through. She's also always been the biggest supporter of Dan and Serena.
Yeah.
She's always been their biggest fan.
Mm-hmm. Chuck creepily wakes Serena from sleep to show Serena the Gossip Girl blast about Amanda and Dan's date.
So fucking creepy. How, Jesus. Ugh. I would fucking strangle him.
So weird.
And I love the Harry Dean Stanton obsession in this episode too. Like the constant shout outs to Harry Dean Stanton.
Jenny finds Vanessa waiting for Blair outside Constance. Jenny asks Penelope and Iz where Blair is. The mean girls let Jenny know her torment is yet to come.
So dumb. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you going to pick on a fucking girl like that?
Because that's what they do.
I know, but so fucking dumb. Oh, I actually had a question that I thought of earlier in this episode, and it is a bit of a spoiler question, but I think that it's an appropriate one. They're seniors now, and there's 3 seasons left of the show after this? 5 seasons, right?
4.
6 seasons?
There's 6 seasons total.
So there's 4 more seasons to go. Do they graduate this year and we're post-high school?
Yeah, college is definitely a big, like picking college is definitely a big theme of the season, and then they graduate. Jenny and Eric obviously still have
another year.
Yeah,
another 2 years left. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to know because Constance and St. Jude have been such a backdrop for so many scenes. Never a classroom.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of gone.
Oh yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if they were going to continue with that or...
There's a little bit with Jenny and Eric, but generally, yeah, every season is a year.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to clarify.
Serena is rightfully pissed at Dan, who is least attempting to apologize. Serena's brilliant solution to the drama is to refer to a third wheel on Dan's and Amanda's next date.
Yeah, how is this a good idea? What's the purpose? In what universe do you say
just because you're going to be friends, you don't have to hang out with her on a date?
On the first date. I mean, well, second date. But still, like what?
Why?
What good is any of that? Like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should introduce her and I should meet her and you should introduce her and we should hang out. Cool. You know? But like, no, don't go out tonight together. And why are you going out to like a fucking party bar? You know, why are you going to the party of the week bar instead of, you know, getting to know each other somewhere else, anywhere?
Yeah. Maybe the cafeteria. I mean, you go to high school together.
Yeah. The courtyard there where you hang out more than you go to class.
Yeah. Vanessa goes to a restaurant to find out what Blair's plan is. Vanessa sees Blair with Marcus and assumes Blair is doing nothing. Vanessa storms off before Blair starts verbally smacking Marcus around. Then Katherine shows up so she can get her just dessert, courtesy of Queen Bee.
Vanessa's so goddamn stupid. She's so fucking stupid to sit there. For Blair to tell her like a couple days ago, hey, I got this.
Yeah.
And then she sees one look and is like, oh, well, I'm going to go to the Duke instead. Like, you fucking idiot. You are
Vanessa.
Like
the worst.
You underestimated fucking Blair. You idiot. But Blair is fucking masterful. I loved it. I love the, you know, I beg your pardon. Oh, not yet, but you will.
Yeah. It was a great plan. So Vanessa screws it up.
Yep,
Looks like she screws everything up as usual. She's going to spill the tea to Daddy Lord.
Yep. Fucking with Bee's plan. Bee's got a plan and you're fucking with it, Vanessa.
Dan and Amanda are out on their date. Serena is clearly feeling left out when Dan and Amanda start nerding out on poetry.
Yeah. Yeah, these two people are on a date getting to know each other.
She's Dan with boobs.
Yeah. And like, you're going to be insecure. Like, that is going to be the feeling you have when these two people are getting to know each other and you're trying to get to know her too. because they have chemistry. You and Dan have chemistry. You do. But you can't, but you're not together.
Mm-hmm.
So let him be with somebody else. Why did you think that was a good idea?
Serena goes to the bar to get a drink and catch her breath. Penelope and Iz encourage Serena's competitive side. It looks like old Serena might be making a comeback.
Who drinks like that? Who drinks a martini like that? Like she drinks martinis like she eats strawberries.
Yeah.
Like no one does. Just
This is what I was talking about earlier. How she just instantly goes into seductress mode.
Yeah, like without a thought about it. But like the martini glass on her lip, it's like, what is that sexy? Like
when Blake Lively does it, yes.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, never wanted to be a martini glass before, but
we turn back from commercial, and Dalton's lacrosse captain is boring the rest of the table with tales of glory on the field. The girls step away, and lacrosse boy tries to have a dude bro moment with Dan, who just shakes his head and walks away.
Smoking hot, right?
Yeah.
And Dan's just like, it's so great. I love that exit.
Yeah.
I loved, how he's just like,
really great.
Yeah, the whole look of like, I can't
do this. I can't.
With it. Just walked away. Loved it.
Dan and Serena talk at the bar. Serena is breaking down in tears. Dan dearly wants to comfort her, but decides against it. Things end, and Serena politely telling Dan to get the fuck out.
You see the turn. You see that you see the
why should I leave?
Yeah. Why should, like, this is where all my friends are.
Yeah.
And like,
this isn't your kind of place.
Yeah.
Dan, you can't afford it here.
And she's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, why are you there in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, why is that where you went on this date?
Yeah.
Like, which really tells me that Serena picked the location, right? Like, it seems like, why would you let her pick the location of your 3-way date? Like, weird. But yeah, you just see that kind of, that turn in her face. Yeah. That like, no, I need him to live. He's the only one that can keep Padme alive.
Darth Serena. Blair reveals the truth about Katherine and Marcus to Nate. Blair blackmailed Katherine into paying off the Archibald debt and to leave New York with Marcus. However, V blew up the plan by going directly to the Duke.
Fucking Vanessa. Blair had it covered. Blair had everything covered, and you actually probably would have won in the end here too. Like, Nate may have still been mad, because his reasons for being mad weren't about you fucking with Blair's plan. It was for not going to him in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because her whole thing to Vanessa, I will say this, Vanessa's whole thing to Blair was, I don't want Nate to know.
Yeah.
So in that respect, Blair was kind of fucking with Vanessa's side of it, because she did ask for that one thing to be kept out of it. But the thing that Nate's mad about isn't her fucking with Blair's plan. It's not telling her in the first place.
You went to Dan and then Blair? You're friends with Blair.
Yeah, you hate Blair.
At the club, Chuck eggs on the mean girls to Neartini Amanda.
Yeah, this is so fucking dumb.
Yeah, especially when you find out later that he egged Amanda on to do all this.
Yeah,
paid her.
Yeah. When you realize that he set her up for this, like he's the one that was like, "Here, don't you guys remember how to throw a Neartini?"
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Yeah. In Brooklyn, Lily is still lonely and makes another unannounced popover. It looks like Lily is looking for some Netflix and chill. Rufus does the right thing and shuts that shit down.
Yeah. I feel for Lily here.
Yeah.
I really do.
But you knew what you're getting into.
Rufus was absolutely right. Rufus made it clear. You made this choice. I wanted this too, and you did not. Like, although he could have been a little less with the kiss when Claire showed up. It didn't have to be quite so like.
Yeah.
Like it could have been a very quick, nice kiss. It would have communicated everything. But he definitely was like, I need to let Lily know what I'm saying here.
Mm-hmm.
There is that little thing in the back of my head that says, if Claire wasn't on her way, what would Rufus have done? If he didn't already have a date with Claire, would he have come to that same conclusion?
Yeah.
Like he didn't previously.
I guess we'll probably never know.
Yeah. But he did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important here.
Blair schleps all the way to the outer borough to give Vanessa a tongue lashing. In the words of Red Foreman, Vanessa is a dumbass.
Yeah, you don't go to the queen if you don't want her to actually get... You don't go to Queen Bee if you don't want her to get shit done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's gonna have a plan, and, like, she's such a fucking dumbass.
Penelope dumps a martini glass full of Nair on Amanda's head, whose hair begins to immediately fall out. I felt really bad for her.
Yeah.
Before we know she was paid.
Yeah.
I still feel bad even after, but before that, you felt really bad for her.
Yeah. Although Robin does point out that it doesn't work that fast. That Nair has to like sit for 20 minutes.
I kind of figured. Although that was like, I mean, don't you like dilute it with water or no? Who knows? Someone write in and tell us.
I've never Naired.
Judgmental Dan is in fine form when he tears Serena apart. Look out, Dan, you may be creating a monster.
Yeah, you've got this misplaced anger here, Dan, and it's going in the wrong direction, and it's going to bite you in the ass.
Spotted. A beautiful blonde phoenix rising from the ashes of a major public humiliation. Welcome back, Serena. Consider us your humble servants. Because if looks could kill, we wouldn't want to be Dan Humphrey. We move into the epilogue. Vanessa tries to apologize to Nate, but Nate turns her line from earlier back on her. They were never really friends anyway.
Yeah, I don't like this, Nate, because you lied to Vanessa. Like, you lied about the affair. You had a lot that you lied about.
Yeah.
And
Nate, as usual, being a hypocrite.
Yeah, Nate, this was not a good look for you.
At school, Iz and Penelope approach Jenny for some grade school level bullying.
Yep, and it's like basic bullying. It's like, I'm going to take your bag and dump it out. Like Jenny's right. Like, is that it? Like, is this what... Like,
but then they're right. Over time, it will get
really annoying, yeah.
Yeah, after the second time, I started swinging from... Dan leaves a message for Amanda, apologizing for himself and to Serena. Hey, Dan, how about actually apologizing to Serena?
Came at her pretty hard. You came at her pretty hard, Dan. Dan really wants Serena to be accountable for shit that she has, that she completely accounts for. And then he also wants her to be, because he wants her to be accountable for being this, super popular person, but he also wants her to be accountable for the actions that other people do around her, and wants her to be accountable for Penelope dropping this Nair on her. And it's like, I get that you're pissed, but like you have always expected Serena to be more just different, someone more than she is.
Yeah. We see Chuck having a meal with Amanda. It looks like Chuck orchestrated the whole thing to make Serena queen. Chuck is such a loving brother, wanting the best for his sister, right? Right?
Yeah. Once I realized that Chuck was behind all of this, first, like I said, the first watch through, Chuck's up to something, but I had no idea where it was going. I didn't see his hand in any of this.
This is definitely Chuck's first big successful scheme.
Yeah. Everything else is blown up in his face. Every other scheme that Chuck has had has blown up in his face. Because it has always been to get some kind of explosive behavior out of Blair.
Yeah.
And now he's,
So this is just part one of the scheme, obviously.
Yeah, well, part one of the scheme is to knock Blair down and crown Serena as the new queen, so that then so Blair now needs a new king to elevate her ranks. So
it looks like Jenny is ditching school to go to do more work at the atelier. Running from your problems never solves anything, little Jay.
Yeah, apparently she can hide at atelier. Penelope was like, you can't hide at atelier or the Waldorf warehouse anymore. Well, apparently she can. Well, apparently she chooses Laurel's bullying over yours.
Yeah. Back at school, headbands have already been replaced with scarves, and Serena is extremely condescending to Blair right in front of the minions.
God.
We saw last season how fast these girls were to switch loyalties. Blair's caught off guard here, but I can't wait to see her counterpunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the way that Serena takes the headband off of her head.
The scarf, yeah. You're right.
Or the scarf. Yeah. She's wearing the scarf as a headband.
Yes.
Right?
As a shawl.
Yeah. But very much in Blair's style.
Mm-hmm.
And removes it, saying, this is not the style now. And ties it around Blair's neck. You sweet little thing.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah. I like Serena's transformation.
Serena also arises.
Yeah. we're no longer wearing.
Yeah. Chuck reveals to Blair that he is the puppet master behind it all. I wonder how that... Oh, I know how this happened.
Yeah.
Chuck. A reggae beat drops as we see Dan being completely shunned by everyone in the school.
When he fucking realizes what's happening and he realizes he is in over his head and like and Serena comes by and doesn't even glance at him. Yeah. It was just
And that is our episode.
It is our episode.
Any predictions?
Well, Queen Bee is not going to let this go. Queen Bee is going to want her throne back. So there's definitely going to be a scheme to take down Serena now. Blair, Serena's kind of your fault here too, because had you not convinced her that Dan moving on was a bad thing, she would never have forced her way into this relationship with Dan, the three-way date. It wasn't a date. So yeah, Blair's going to counterpunch. Are we done with Amanda? Is she coming back?
No, she's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
She seemed, when she first entered, I was like, oh, is this a new character that we're going to have to see over and over again?
Thankfully not.
No, because she's going to boarding school in Vermont.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get into some segments. This week in fandom, we jumped into the Wayback Machine to go back in time to the Television Without Pity forums to see what they were saying back in 2008.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman.
Hello.
Good boy.
Chuck is an awesome villain. I agree. The key word here being villain.
Yeah. He was a great villain.
More Vanessa is the worst, but some at least felt bad for the way Nate treated her at the end.
Yeah, I'm with that. Vanessa
sucked, but she didn't really deserve it.
Yeah, it was a little too harsh at the end, and
both of the guys were really over harsh in this. Nate and Dan.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And I even felt Dan was maybe a little more justified in his level of anger because of what just happened to his date. Nate, I feel like he just comes at her really hard when he, without any self-reflection. I still kind of hope Nate and Vanessa find a way together. Like, I do.
In defense of Nate, he was like, Blair got the restitution money paid. That was huge.
Yeah, it's just that Nate specifically said, that's not what I'm upset about. I'm upset about you not coming to me. Which that is also kind of like, is that really what you're upset about? Because it seems like you're upset about the money thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're right.
Mixed opinions on Serena's heel turn. Some people liked it, some people didn't.
I really like Serena, how she's been, but I guess I'm kind of ready for...
I like this Serena.
I thought it was done well. I'm a little saddened by it, but I think that's what makes a good heel turn a good heel turn.
Yeah.
You know? When The Rock came out and started shitting on Philadelphia for one of his heel turns, I remember being so mad and being like, oh, they got me.
Gotcha. Many were completely shocked by Marcus and Katherine, and then at least one person thought the whole thing was completely illogical.
I mean, I wouldn't say completely illogical, but it was pretty disgusting and that whole plot line.
Well, the logical comes from the fact that if Marcus can get it up for Katherine, why can't he get it up for Blair? And then also, if Catherine's also fucking Marcus, why is she so desperate to fuck Nate?
Yeah, I mean, there is all of that. You are correct.
And then why does Dan have such a huge influence on Serena's personality?
Yeah.
Well, last year he was making her, Dan makes her a better person.
Yeah.
And then this year, because of how he's treating her, she's going to the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah, she does hate. But, love can do that.
Yeah.
Right? Love will definitely make you change your personality.
Fair, but does Dan deserve that? No. Moving on to some episode grades. You went first last time, so I'm going to go ahead and go first this time. Not quite as good as last week, but I thought this was a very solid episode. The directing was solid. The acting was nothing to stand out from the acting, but it was definitely solid all around. There was nothing bad except for Amanda, the guest star. The writing, I think, like I said, I think they're hitting their groove. Like this guy comes back for 10 episodes, mostly in this season, 2, 3, and 4 mostly. So yeah, I think they're hitting their groove. So I gave this episode a B.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I actually was a B. I was kind of between a B and a B minus, and then landed on a B. For pretty much everything that you just said. I felt like it was a better written episode. I found they're finding that groove, like you said. I felt that Amanda was poorly acted and cast, but I feel like that happens a lot on this show. Mm-hmm. And in general, I felt like it was solid, and it was definitely a step up from the beginning of this season.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes. Half the episodes were just off.
Yeah, they were really tough to watch.
Stock watch. Going up, I had Serena and Chuck. Serena, because she's now queen, and Chuck is his scheme. He ran through the whole episode.
He got it.
He ran the episode.
Yeah.
And then I also had Rufus going up because he started off weak with caving her at the first attempt, but then he finished strong, and he's got a girlfriend now, so good for him.
Yeah. Yep.
Who you got going up?
All 3 are the same. I had Serena, Chuck, and Rufus, all for those same reasons. I also had Nate's stock going up because he's free of Katherine. Or at least he should be free of Katherine.
Yeah, I originally had Nate stock going up, but because he was such a dick at the end, I had kept him at neutral.
That is a fair thing. I was kind of on the cusp of that, but I went ahead and gave him the up.
Going down, Dan, you were a dick all episode.
Dick, and yeah.
Jenny, because you're skipping class now, and you're getting bullied, and yeah, not looking good for your future right now, Jenny. Vanessa, you're a fucking idiot. Blair, she is dethroned once again already.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lily, just because she was being really sad and pathetic.
I have one more. I actually had all of the exact same ones as you. I had Dan, I had Lily. I had Blair. This is actually her. I guess this is her second dethroning, isn't it? Because she was dethroned by her first scandal last season. But yeah, Blair. I had Jenny. I had Vanessa. I also had Amanda's stock going down for just being fucking awful.
Yeah, I just didn't really count her because she's cool.
I didn't know if she was going to be back or not, and so I figured anyone's fair game.
I actually would have add Katherine and Marcus to my down.
Same. I actually thought of that when you were going through your ups, and I meant to add them to my down as well. That both Katherine and Marcus getting shipped off.
Thankfully, they are also gone.
Sweet. I was actually worried she was going to come back at some point.
I'm sure Nate will find some new old lady to bang.
For money.
Here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
For best outfit, I had Serena's gray and black bandage dress from Hervé Léger.
All right. For me, I had Blair's outfit on selection day. The white cape. Yeah, the white cape, that like giant brooch holding it together, and I just thought it looked so.
Yeah, I believe the cape was from Marc Jacobs.
Okay. Yeah, very elegant and very. I like that a lot.
So that is it for segments. I don't really have anything to plug this week. Do you got anything?
I don't think I have anything coming. Oh, if you are in the Lock Haven area, I'm actually going to be playing the Fringe Fest next month in October. I'll give you more details on that. I can't remember the exact weekend, but I will be up there playing the Lock Haven Fringe Fest.
You can follow me on social media on Instagram at Hot Capicola. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram and TikTok at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find us on Facebook just search for Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find us on Twitter at NJB Pod. And we now have a website, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com. From there, you can find our Discord server.
And if you want to get in touch with us and send us an email and let us know what you're thinking, we'd love to hear your thoughts and read them on air. Our email address is nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. And also, while you're sitting there listening, please be sure to subscribe, leave a comment. It really helps with our visibility, especially on iTunes and the Apple Podcasts. And also, more importantly, tell a friend what you're listening to and listen together and have an enjoyable experience with us.
Next week, we'll be back to talk about Season 2, Episode 5, The Serena Also Rises. The next episode preview reads, Blair decides to sabotage her mother's show at Fashion Week.
Jesus, Blair, what is wrong with you?
She's obviously going through some shit.
Yeah, she's going through some shit.
She's not taking the dethroning well.
Yeah. I mean, who is she going after? Jenny, Serena, or both? I mean, because I'm assuming both.
Yeah, because presumably Jenny's involved with the show,
and maybe Serena too. Now that Serena's queen, and the fashion model.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail.
No, I didn't.
Okay, yeah.
Is Serena it Serena in a dress?
Yeah.
I did see it now that I think of it. But yeah, so that all tracks. So of course that's going to piss off Blair.
Well, until next week, you know you love us.
XOXO.
Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me